rain, the weather, and how we as a government from various layers and levels prepared and they respond to the challenge we family and don't face since the raining season starts. Before we get to the substance of this conversation, and I'm glad for CC, her worship just they arrive. The mayor of Freetown, her worship Yvonne Akisoya. We always start on time, madam. We always start on time. I understand. I completely understand. Thank you for making the time for Bea. I'll address a couple of quick issues, and then we rant on to a very distinguished panel. Today, na the day against trafficking of persons. Today, na the International Day against trafficking of persons. And the government launched the action plan against trafficking in persons, especially women and children. This action plan, then put on together by the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Task Force Secretariat in partnership with the Ministry of Social Welfare. And it will be operational from 2024 to 2028. Trafficking in persons is a major issue for we, na Salone, and we don't see this issue, actually the numbers and they on the rise. Yesterday I been welcomed the head of IOM, na my office, and he mentioned some very worrying thing they will be one for share with Tuna today as we start this conversation. First, when you look at the statistics we get from 2017 to 2023, we don't see constant increase in the number of reported trafficked persons from Salone. From 2017, we've been the total have been 28 within reports to 2023. That number they don't double. 2019 it been go up to 76. But then one day we also do it in called Temple Run. We don't see, say recently the numbers don't increase in Mali. We understand, say some man don't even turn on business. Then they go, then they can't take people picking them. Then go, so that IOM will bring them come back, then get them package. Then get a new picking them, then go. So IOM will bring them come back, then bring them come back, then bring them get them package. We don't see that trend again. And beaucoup of the people that were in the interview now, Mali, apparently they're not able to establish the connection where they get to the picking the way they get. So then the traffic people picking them, carry them go and use them as baits for let them get resources. We get apparently over 600 Sierra Leoneans in stock in Niger as well. It's a massive issue of concern we will continue to address on this platform. And we just want to announce that we did in conversations and we work with international partners then for Fenway for deal with this. Quickly for the news updates, on the 24th of July 2024, Nabin Sumani, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Salone, the host a town hall, and they be announced plenty things. Then we address 3 hours conversation with His Excellency. We talk about plenty important things that will affect the country. The town hall being cover major area then. Big 5. This conversation we can talk about so climate. We cover peace and national cohesion. We cover foreign affairs. The president announces Salone. In fact, in just 2 days, will become president of the United Nations Security Council. Salone will chair the UN Security Council. We know a historic day for the country. The Minister of Lands and Country Planning, in collaboration with the Economic Diversification Project, don't launch the new online processing platform. So if you go online now, I think we share the video for apply for land, for everything, permits, all that process, they don't be digitized. And it give you an opportunity for like streamline the process for know and track within the site where you application day and now a platform way safe and secure. President Biobi also condemned a statement by a member of his party, now this town hall, now part of the updates we'll get, when Kadiru Kaikai, President Biobi say, you know, get no room for hate and divisive speech in this country. And he used the opportunity for appeal to the country for let all only focus on peace and national cohesion. Solidaridad West Africa done the second quarter of the Salon Cocoa, Coffee and Cashew platform meeting at Sarah Palms. This is not part of the efforts them for support, regulation, and ensure sustainability, and then get funding with the UN, and then they focus as well for supports the president in Big Five. Finally, the Chief Immigration Officer, Honorable Alusan Kane, don't engage the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in Washington, D.C. for discuss key issues and surrounding immigration, customs, and deportations. The ambassador to the U.S., Ambassador Siddiqui Abubakar Y, been talk about all the challenges that they get for deportation, for move people and back, and all the process them who for share with our American counterparts. All right. Now to we panel. Today, the topic now will deal with the effects of the heavy rains in Afriton and beyond. How prepared we be as a government and as a people. And I'm very, very grateful and very privileged to we will bring one of this high-powered panel today. I'm particularly grateful for the presence of Her Worship, the Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya. We lead the municipality and we'll get serious issues them we'll always talk about where in camp. But we also get the Deputy Executive Director of the National Disaster Management Agency, Mr. John Vandy Rogers. Then gets the role for manage all disasters, for everything, for plan ahead, and all of that. On my right, we get my brother, Engineer Alfred Jalil Momodu, who is the Director General for the Salon Roads Authority. So Mango want to ask how they connect on this talk, but they're very, very connect. In fact, they're very important because we income, the flood, the road them, the drainage system, all kind conversation on there. I want to make a few things clear. We're not kind of have for argue. We kind of have for advance the conversation. For see how we all they work together as the government and as a people level. For give information to the people of Salon say, now this we don't do, now we challenges and this so, now so and so will solve this problem. So for start, I want to go to NDMA first. For me, then tell we about what's the current state where we do in terms of preparedness as a country overall. But for this conversation today, I want to focus, you will talk about the country, but we'll focus on the city as well. So how we do in terms of preparedness and what we don't do for prepare and respond as we people learn, we don't see unprecedented rain. People learn worry because not to July today, we've been the see them kind of rain here. You know, we not even reach it inside August. Heavy downpour of rain. We don't see beaucoup challenges and all over. So make we start with you, and after you, at the Council Her Worship, for talk specifically about, you don't talk a lot about this issue as well, and he will present, and then we come to my brother from the Salon Roads Authority, and then we will review the questions that we don't come online. I will pose some questions into Una, just so Una go know, and then I open up to the media with there, and then I will ask, we will get a very productive conversation for move this country go before. NDMA, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much, colleague panelists. I want to say thank you to everybody who come to be part of this particular process today. This is a very crucial moment, especially at the time where the country will get heavier rains. We don't move away from the time where we get 6 months of rains in Sierra Leone and 6 months of drought. When I all can agree with me, say, the weather don't become very erratic. Because of that situation, the time then we can get rains, anytime then they don't change. They get serious impact upon our population, upon the way how they live, upon our livelihood, and upon our settlement. Honorable Minister, colleague panelists, I'm glad for informing us, say, at the National Disaster Management Agency, we work collaboratively. All of the other 2 colleagues visited on this particular table, I worship the mayor and the DG for Sierra Leone Roads Authority, we all work collaboratively. So this tells you how far we don't come, and I'm sure say, at a particular point in time, then interchangeable views and you will see the way how we represent the issues. But at the start of every year, when we come to closer to the rainy season, the National Disaster Management Agency, they work together with the Meteorological Agency. The Met Agency is very key in all of what we talk, because now they get responsibility for weather forecast. And their weather forecast, they start to run for the rainy season sometime around April, May. And you go and hands all together before the national and international institutions, among which you get the Women Meteorological Organization of Leone, and you get the African Meteorological Association, which is in Nigeria. So they normally call them for who do a kind of forecast for member states, especially for West African countries. So in May this year, the forecast for months, and when they come, the Director General of the National Disaster Management Agency called for a coordination meeting in which we'll be able to invite over 50 participants from both government and non-governmental institutions. In that engagement, they tell clearly what is going to be the nature of the weather. Honorable Minister, and also private disease weather at this particular point in time, for the forecast we don't have. When I agree with me, say, in the month of June, we're not going to get better rain. And that might be the critical element of the forecast where the Met Agency is waiting for the country. But they tell us, say, we're going to get heavy rains in the month of July, August, and September. But then get an acronym that call it the JASO. So where the rain they fall now, I'm not surprised at all. But the thing here is, in the midst of this forecast, we can gather to make sure so we will catch up with all of what they happen. Whenever we forecast, the next thing we will do critical assessment. Freetown, the way how they see and other areas of the country, we get areas that are low-lying areas. Very easily, if we get high precipitation, high heavy rains, the areas will be 10 chances out of 1 of the flooded. Coastal areas, for example, around the Coco, like Beirut, Koreatown, which is maybe around Sudan, then potential areas then, easily flooded, because these are low-lying areas. The heavy rains, they're not for the flood. But beyond that, if you just say in that assessment, we have identified the risk of it. At the end of the day, we take responsibility shortly. This analysis, then this analysis to do gradation. We get high risk areas, we get medium risk areas, we get low risk areas. At this particular point in time, we get this kind of intermittent weather, the interest and high risk areas. We don't really know to be this way we've got a steady institution by this time because of the highway how we get the topography. Because naturally, we expect if rain comes from office, we get the jet run, they go down to the community, they run into the Atlantic. But they don't change. Another minister colleagues can tell me the reason why they don't change. For many reasons. The first reason, we want to interact with the environment, which is really bad. Future systems will try, any level they try, other decisions they try, but that needs interaction with the political resources. Among them, we can now say we get something for the group that leads into strong channels. It's about what time one. It flows very easily. And in a situation which strong channels don't flow, it becomes very difficult. Do what I can. If you get poured heavily, it is easy for both to human settlement. Now, this is to make areas around rural streets it becomes easily flooded because of the factors. The water level of the human settlement and people in the suffer. The other reason for this, people that know the land from the sea or from the inland valley swamps, slowly around the city. This time, we how they will land and put houses in it, they're not sustainable at all. At any point in time, we will get heavy rains. Those are the places where they call the National Disaster Management Agency. Or the for some at home, we don't get flood, we don't get social problem. So that's not the second part. The third factor, deforestation. Deforestation is a major problem. There was a time in this country where we were getting 7% forest cover. The Local Provincial Forest, the Coral Forest, the Leone National Park, those areas were protected forests. Now, the cannot see the long in the dry season, now social red bodies, it's very challenging, and this tends to see running. One of the minister, the interesting for that day, those of all the sciences, the water will be inside the from the land. It will come out from the rock where we call it Africa. And then what we do, we inside them, all the people. So in the situation, we start to see what deforestation, we got exposure to from this. What about the daily land of the dial? And it will reach a point, we start with the new challenges of water facility. The other factor we want to make mention about, now we have to do construction. Honorable Minister, Civic this agenda. Put them in build houses and waterways. Very sad. We don't do an assessment, we don't respond to their applicants to council, and other state institutions. Most time really for us to go to that sometimes in our waterways. Sometimes they have so many. Would have been a permit. Because of challenges, we need for their best. We're not able to take the process forward as an establishment of government dealing to manage disaster. When the rainy season is not the time, we do things by the agency. Number one, make sure we embark upon effective communication. So that normally talk the well-informed public and the well-protected public. The strategic communication department and the agency, they team up with other institutions. The agency now requires a strong communication department and other establishments. So we work together to make sure we provide subject education, especially in the high-risk areas where we get around the city. Reason being that these are areas where the city is flooded, these are areas where it is so for panel, these are areas where houses will collapse, and these are areas where businesses will become made. So you cannot see those challenges like that. This is normal need. But in that arrangement, in that equation, we only have to them where we identify as to high value to them. You get the agency, you get the society challenge, you get the women. It's very elasticity and very nothing. You get the women. There are people that anytime we see disaster, that the first platform we will start to make sure they are protected. So you cannot say in the midst of making sure that we're able to protect the population, make disaster report. Get that to be a question. And the National Disaster Management Agency not activate the national situation. So then let's say there are other situations we will get inside of them. So we need to emphasize, need to complex situation with each other. I'm sure the different systems will have one. The also national security get the paramount one. So the NDA national situation will run it up so that at any point in time when events will occur, we will forget information. And I can tell you quickly, on the 22nd, when we gather meeting collapse, the 5-story building we call SSM. That thing happened at about 11:30. The communication channel will get our national institution room, 1199. The officer will be there in Denver. So we call it from the area, or see ozone call, and people that don't have inside and need them for over rescue. So because of that, we reach it by 12:30. Because as the partner close to us, and they for drive to come out. Then we call the members of the institution, we therefore alert FCC, even though the district council, we therefore alert them because we all the work collaborating, the commission they can't impact upon that situation. So the final say that also is very key. The elements of communication very key. For reach out to the population, for inform the clarity that happen, for tell them what they will do. And this particular point in time, the National Disaster Management Agency don't do a lot of press releases over time. For tell the public clearly political expectation on their own part. Because God not either. You wait another man, you security line on your own first before you go to another person. So now that reason, even the one that waiting and then high these players, humanity is responsible to take this year and please wait this people not for it. Several years. Me, the head of the police, all the members of government, and even the local council, tell you, this thing is not for you.
Deputy. Sorry, I will interrupt small bits no more. Because I'm also aware of time. But I want to ask you a quick follow-up question. Because the question really will answer at this press conference today. Now, whether we prepared. You don't mention, say, July, August, September. Now, heavy rain months than this. You mentioned the building will collapse. After the building collapse, so on a reach day, we been get what it take for respond. We prevent loss of life. You mentioned on the comms side, and I know so we go for council question. One question will obvious to me as a comms professional, now that press release really not so in the work by this kind of conversation we talk about. Because I look at the percentage of people who they read, and make we change the press conference now to Creo. We don't change every communication to Creo. We do multiple audio and all. So we need to think through that part the back. Because press release now, a few of the social media will loud, but we don't learn that not to we really get the game. So I want to just talk directly to this question. We get the resources, we get the technical manpower. Are we prepared for the people of Salone?
So on the level of preparedness, we get institution inside Salone, we get some level of preparedness. The engineering regiment of the Republic of Salone Armed Forces. They get an MOU there at government level. Every point in time, we get an incident there. But in terms of preparedness, the final say the one critical aspect of disaster management is the 4 phases. You get the phase of preparedness, you get mitigation of it, you get response phase. The question we ask now, double-edged question. I have one for address and because they're both preparedness and mitigation. I'm going to address the one with the deal with the building collapse. When that building collapse, we have to make sure say we get them search and rescue. We activate them, we call them, we all go to the search and rescue. In fact, some of the men then they go make sure they enter the building, we don't collapse. In the midst of all of it don't fall, enter the make sure they do the search and rescue. This might be a house where they get 8 people there. They get 8 people there. When the collapse will fall, the power when at the head of the family, they come out with 2. You don't even when they will get some injury for care and one of them. So now we get the reason for make sure to look out for the next 5 people on there. Of that 5 we left, we embark on serious rescue operation. Make sure say from that time 11:30 up to about 4-5 in the morning, we rescue one lady. Up to about 8 o'clock in the morning, we rescue one young man, and they are alive. So of that 8 people, we will therefore make sure we will do rescue operation and we rescue 5 people. So we get the casualty. That 3, we go on Bele woman. The other 2 left, and for the rescue operation. The following day, we're not able to full until about 3-4 in that time. So if not being a very, very tense situation, okay, we're not going to look for every rest, one person. But here is an instance, disaster don't occur, not reach day, don't work day, we look for rest. Right? So let me complete, sir. Now talk about the mitigation part. Mitigation is very important, very critical in disaster management. In the midst of all of the factors, people that don't throw garbages, people that don't construct in bad places, people that are mining in wrong places, we therefore make sure to do it. So when the rain season starts, we therefore make sure serious mitigation. There is a point, one place where they call Jeremiah Street. That Jeremiah Street is by rivers. Now, place where they get perennial flooding. Flooding they will call year in year out. So what you will do when the rainy season starts, make sure you work with the council, the Red Cross Society, to make sure that waterway is there. And so the Salone Rules Authority itself will deal with it. They make sure they are giving engineering advice. So clear them things. Because the rain come, the begin come to a point where the road for not. So we tell what the cost of that mitigation will be. Then there's a second part when a Beku Street our meeting. We work together with Peter City Council and concern worldwide and then provide the resources. Our duty is making sure that we identify outside the resources, go bring make sure we do the work for the result. So 295 meters of some drain channel, concrete, we don't construct our community. That place will be left from year in year, from this particular year. So this tells you how far.
Right. All right. Thank you very much. The importance left from evidence, do you know that we have a competence agency? What they do in work, and then they work in collaboration with different layers. So sometimes the conversation on social media not reflects the reality. So now we come to Her Worship the Mayor. Recently, when the rain starts, there was one particular day where the rain be heavy. FCC issue a communication. I actually get them directly from you because I didn't know you broadcast list. And you say, now this responsible for this, now this responsible for this, now this responsible for this. Many people then construe that for say you try for abdicate. Say, not to me, now they want them there. This is an opportunity for like clarify that, because otherwise you're not ready to seek for clarify that. But I want make you spend maybe just a few minutes on that, maybe a couple of minutes. But I want the substance of the major intervention here. And I ask the mayor of the city for use this platform as well for communicate to the people on the steps in which you don't take for ensure say we prepared. And the same way I ask them, how we prepare, what we do, even as we expect say the rains then go increase and those role you they play in all of that.
Thank you very much. Hello? Hello? Thank you very much, Minister. And as you hear from my dear friend, Mr. Rogers, when Idigi in submission, he mentioned Freetown City Council countless times because Freetown City Council, and the same as Shossi when you go talk with SLRA, it will be the same. So the point of putting out that information, very, very necessary. Because if you get challenges, people then get challenges as Freetonians. They need to get a better understanding of who does what, so they know who side for go. Because we are aware of the confusion and the lack of understanding on the part of many Freetonians. Coming on to what we don't do, it's important first for understand the context. When you start the press conference, you say we go come on and talk about climate change. So let people then get first a little understanding of this climate change and how, as a city, will it be impacted. In very simple terms, climate change, the result from where the ozone layer, it gets a hole, basically, because of greenhouse gas emissions. But what in that mean to we? It means, say, we get what they call extreme weather patterns. That's the rain they come, where enough for come, it come boku. And I talk this in very simple terms. Of course, there are more technical ways to describe climate change, but I want to let people understand, say, this extreme weather we experience. Now, one of the impacts of climate change. For example, inside this July month, we already don't get 691 millimeters of rain, according to the meteorological department. If you remember, August 14, 2017, we've been getting mudslide. At that time, now been 570 millimeters of rain we've been getting in the 5 weeks up to that. So we all don't feel them. We grown at this Freetown. Some of us are older. We know we can hear it and talk about 7 days rain. 7 days rain na net na santem. But this trip we get 23 days solid rain. So we get the context of this extreme weather. But waiting again we get Freetown as we all know, get its unique topography. We get a mountain, and then we get the ocean, and then the city, they in between. Over the last 25 years, the population of this city don't explode. When me when they grow up, Freetown will get about 500,000 people now. According to the World Bank estimates, we're now about 1.5 million people. Now that same place, so Usa you get a mountain, and Usa you get a sea, the envelope we. With that increased population, we get a major challenge. This na a city, and that now one of the reasons then why the clarification important. And last week Monday, NDNA, SLRA, Ministry of Environment, ONS, we all sit down together with the Ministry of Lands. Why? Because when you get a population to grow rapidly, it's very important for let you also get planning. Unfortunately, for one reason or the other, many reasons, we not get land use planning na Freetown. We also, which means say we not get plan. There's no master plan for how people then they build. That's not the reality. The power of land use planning, they with the Ministry of Lands. Then they work on something now with the World Bank, but it they with them and there's no land use planning. More importantly, building permits. You hear way Mr. Rogers talk about people that they build now waterside. People that also they build now steep hills. Waiting at the consequence of this. We get constructions the way they go on, where they block water. Water where you block them, it is anyway. But the other major issue where they affect we inside the rainy season, with this land use planning, building permit issue, now the facts say it come with massive deforestation. Like you on another statistic. Along the mountain, and we don't know say we water, not a Freetown. We drink the water, we drink Guma water, but Guma not the Freetown. Guma they Wotsi. Wotsi na in get the protected forest. WFP do some analysis and do some remote sensor monitoring. Where shall we say in 2023, for the whole year, we lost 550 hectares of forest nada we protected area. When Naim the protect we water. Naim also they hold the soil because the trees and they're on the hills. But the disturbing news Panda report, in addition to these 550 hectares where we lost in 2023, in the first 4 months of 2024 alone, from January to April, we lost 520 hectares of that forest. So deforestation is a massive challenge. Mr. Rogers don't say, when you look up the hills, Usai first we see green, now we see brown. And when the rain comes, the roots of the trees, the vegetation, we force them now in the hold the water, in not the hold the water again. So you get this runoff. But the runoff not come in one grain. It come with the red dotty. So if you now look up, when I look anytime the heavy rain come, you go see Melon Street, Old Road, Sanders Street, you look the gutter. Even this morning where I pass na PWD by Main Street, Panemba Road Junction, so red dotty. So I've been just one for bring this context because it's important for understand waiting the drive, waiting with the seesaw. Because when rain come heavy, if grass day, if thick day, the impact is different to when rain come when you get deforested cover. And that's important for let we all know because we all get to be conscious when it comes to tree cutting. Like now to the flooding and the preparation. When I mentioned the land use planning and the building permit, I talk about in the context of houses, then they be built na the water side. You go na any water side, you go still side the water side don't tight. As person they put in gate in wall, people then they build inside are sure at the city heads and they not because we all see them. That's now one challenge with the building permit issue. But one other very important challenge there, when a lack of access roads. If you take a community, for example, Mount Oriel community by Hillside Bypass Road, it just stay above. Hillside Bypass Road, no so. You take that community, you watch that community. We have thousands of concrete oaths. This not to you average, say, informal settlement with Pambodio. This now, as they can say, story oaths, 2 stories, 3 stories, concrete oaths. But waiting at the challenge, no road, no day for enter that community. None at all. Na step, na you take. If na step you take, how for pool you dirty? Tricycle not the go day, motorcar not the go day, dirty lorry not the go day. So that they create an issue with sanitation. So when we been get a major rainfall some weeks ago, some of my colleagues and they in the room, we take a walk into that community. We go engage and ask them, say, wetin una dey do with una dirty? Because clearly, nobody, service providers not able to reach Naya. Then show we sign at the ground, usai been dig small. When the rain come, when the water full up, then they put the dirty inside there. Then the rain, what's the dirty go? But usai, it end up na the new road. Na the new road. So we get to foresee all of these challenges, even the challenge of sanitation. You get to foresee them within the context of building permits, land use planning, because in order for deliver services effectively, you need for them plan for access. So that's not the context, waiting at the action. As my colleague MDNA don't say, every year we embark on flood mitigation activities. We started this year on the 3rd of April. And at this point, we don't do 62 major flash points. Krube, Sarola, Bright Street, Sambagota, Sanders Street, John Street, I can go on and on. I get a list now, yeah? The days that we go there, the days that we return there. We some say you go 3 term, but the next time rain come, the poto, they come back, and it full the gutter. And as also been said, unfortunately, we get some Fritonians, even those we get access for lead and get service providers for access then dirty. We still get some people we get this idea say, where rain come, then for put then dirty, na the gutter, let the rain care and go. The rain not the care and go. The rain just the move them from your front door and deposit them further down the drain. So in this flood mitigation, we don't already utilize 2,663 youth them in communities. We don't do 62 flash points. We don't spend over 500 million old Leones, 500,000 new Leones, because we day out every day. And I actually asked my colleagues then for come we then day in the field morning, day, and night. So big shout out to Abbas for that. So then at one thing, flood mitigation. Second, public space cleaning. So even though we get people that way they behave badly, we as city council, and I shall say if you wake early in the morning, you go see the sweepers, we get every day 843 people them where the street sweep 180 streets. That na dirty way if you been left na the street before end up na the gutter. But because we the sweep them and care and go, when I go see the tricycles, when I go see the trucks, that means to say that safe they mitigate against the drains being flooded or clogged. The other thing we would do, of course, na tree planting. We don't talk say one major cause of the flooding and of the landslide, na the deforestation. We been on plant 977,000 trees prior to the start of this year. And we get a tracker for those we want to see. You actually can go onto treetracker.com. I can give the URL before I left, so you can go and see the trees. But in addition to that, as I talked to Nassau, we get 300,000 more trees with funding from World Bank, where they be planted now. Of that, almost 200,000 go being mangrove. And this come to the flood protections. So the trees, they go be planted on the hillsides for stabilized slopes, for prevent mudslides. Then also they be planted the mangroves along the coast for act as a flood defense. Another thing we're very important where we did do, now working with communities. Mr. Rogers and we get a set of people in common within communities, we then call CDMCs, that are the Community Management Disaster Committees. We all work with them. We give them training. We give them support. We help for build resilience. We get a standard operating procedure where inside a community, if disaster happen, you go no say, now the CDMC chairman this. It take charge and it help for lead the other people them. And before, I see Minister only Mike, but before it close me down, I just want to mention two other things. One, SLRA has been a great colleague, even with the flood mitigation. We get outside with the work, then get outside the work. Sometimes we go after, then don't do they. Sometimes when they come after, we don't do they. But one of the things that we're very challenging for them, and I sure say DG go talk about them, now the fact say this deforestation, as I say, the velocity, the speed, the force with which water the flow now is different from if you been get trees on the hills. So just imagine when you think of Sambagota, think of Pademba Road and Dundas Street, the kind of rain where we see there last week, the kind of water. That water there, it's like you get buckets water. Buckets, it full up with water. They take one cup, you put hand on. You say you pour the water within the bucket inside the cup. No matter how clean that cup they be, that water get for throwaway. Now this they happen now with stormwater drainage. So not a question of the Sambagots are not clean. It has been cleaned multiple times by both agencies. But the challenge is the volume of water we can now. So in conclusion, we do the flood mitigation, we continue for do we go continue for do the public space cleaning, we go continue for do tree planting and mangrove restoration, we go continue for do training. When it comes to building permit and land use planning, then they currently deal with the Ministry of Lands, but we continue for advocate, for lead and devolve them to councils across the country when are the best practice everywhere. And when I go glad for Yeri say, even with that, we collaborate. So like today, we don't inform the Ministry of Lands, say, in Krube, the level of banking where they go on right now, don't reach a point where we don't take a decision, where they work out of we mandate technically, because we know to you give permits, not to you for go broke. But we don't inform the Ministry of Lands because technically they have not get permits there. And we do consultation with the community. Usai then don't plant beyond, they don't build beyond a certain level. Usai their life themselves at risk. We engage them today, Friday, we bring those properties down and we plant mangroves in them place.
All right. Thank you very much. Your Worship, I get a follow-up question where I go ask, but I go come back since we don't go 15 minutes. I think the case the mayor presents is very clear. Many of the challenges that we face now because of we own action. As citizens, we contribution to the climate disaster right now. Not only to seize of the problems, it outline what they do, but what they do as well in collaboration with others. I think if the Minister of Lands been there, I will also say that plenty of the illegal structures that we talk about, so they don't even get permits, as you yourself don't point out. So while it's a question of the permits, but most people then they just build in a salon, not with the plan, not according to plan, and not obviously with the permits. So all of these are issues that we will deal with. But one area where the heavy rain affects now with mobility, with access to the roads. And all man they say something and they say engineer Momodu now you get SLRA, the road them. If you buy like Friton, a small rain come, you know you will drive again at this town. All the major streets them, a small rain come, now inside what now they drive. So talk about your mandate as it relates to this issue, and just like how Mr. Rogers don't talk and the mayor don't talk about what then they do, what SLRA self they do.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Good afternoon, colleagues, and everyone here, good afternoon. But just before I go directly into that, I would like for just give a snippet of an overview of how they work and which they make work. The Roads Authority, of course, is still secret. We get the mandate for make we develop roads, maintain them, rehabilitate them, etc. We'll get a stock of about 11,300 kilometers of classified road network that are around the whole country. And of course, they're in 4 categories. We get the major trunk roads, we get the primary roads, we get the feeder roads, and then we'll get the urban roads, where, of course, the Freetown situation falls in. But then we also go to call the core road network. Then are the one the way they make the country they move. We bring them down to about 4,000 kilometers. Year after year, we did develop roads, but we also maintain them. But in terms of the maintenance, we get some activities we carry on. And amongst them, they also zoom in on the drainage and surface clearing works. We eventually I go relate to the Freetown area. But they bring also up some figures where I want to take note of. For example, on an average, we will require, I'm talking in new Leones, something like about 356,250 new Leones. If not been the old Leones, it should be in millions per kilometer. So it means the 4,000 kilometers of the core road network, if not any more one for maintenance, we forget about the other 7,000 and so forth. It will cost we 1,425 million Leones in the new Leones. If not in the old Leones, we are talking about trillions. Now, year after year, on an average, in the last couple of years, the road maintenance fund, they able for provide for we about 120 million Leones. So it means we get a deficit of about 1,305 million Leones. The road maintenance fund, they know they give you this money because they are mean. No. The ECOWAS, they recommend the fair levy because the money where the road maintenance they get for law do maintenance works come up from fair levies. ECOWAS, they recommend 20 US cents, which will amount to about 4 Leones 75 cents in Leones. But then this country, we only able to collect 2 US cents. That's about 48. I don't know for calling myself 0.48 Leones. Right. So, I deliberately they bring these figures for make we know exactly what's going to happen. If I get a house where I get for run, I get for pay me cleaner, I get for pay the security, I get for pay the cook, then I get so little. I don't need for go bring somebody again for they can massage me, somebody for they can, do this at the house. This, I say this because queuing from the previous panelists then, all we problems are man-made. With the money we'll get, that small money we'll get, we, at the Roads Authority, now they will train for, now they will not experience, now they will qualify for all prioritize. And we are doing this. But then this prioritization, we prioritize, and then after 1-2 months, we prioritize, and we prioritize to the 4th, 5th, 7th level. Right. All because, honestly, because of man-made activities. And they don't talk on a lot of them. But I'm not going to say I don't talk on them. They talk on them because all of these problems, they end up on the roads. This is because the density of the roads, then they dunk the hills them. Freetown, as to all they see, in the simplest form of analogy, you are Kebugi, now like bow. The city itself, they right down around the hills. They can. So it means when rains then come, then they start for destroy from the hills. They come down. Till they come. Matter about design process. Where would they design roads then? A lot of things they take into consideration. But one critical one in terrains like there and there, what they take into consideration, get for do it water. Because we know say it get for rain. And we know say we say we put most of the roads there, we road and water, they don't agree. So we get for protect the roads then against that water day. So when would they design with roads? Would they look at the hill? We go to call catchment area. Would they look at whose side the water they will affect that road they can make? Will they also look at how them place they are naturally drained? Because the best thing we're able to do follow the natural drain. Then natural drain they are now they would normally call the water cause them. So you go see say now the hill, maybe hill go cancel, another one cancel, get a valley. Definitely that valley they now they all the water get for come. And then when it come they run down, they go to the lowest point. As you look at the Freetown scenario, they go towards the sea. Right. But what thing they happen currently is we get in the first place the way we don't build at the hills. Normally, when we not build so, we sign at trees and daily, where the rain for them, then go to what it's man called percolation. Some get for go inside, then some they run. That all they dampen the effect. And may have been talking about some mechanism where probably the rain they run, it hits one stick, it slow down. So by the time it reach dunk, the effect don't reduce. But what we don't do, we don't tulum pepper all the heal them. Right. And we do them in a way like we will be the lay farm the upline where they would tend to follow plant trees, so they take and sow with the center. White man they call them broadcast. If you watch the hills them, now that way they don't plant the host them. They no pattern. They are not engineered. No nothing. I mean, it's all right to be at the hills, but it get for be engineered. You get for either cut your hills in terraces or in spirals. That way, then you able for ensure say then water then you don't collect them and properly and adequately drain them. But what is happening at the hills now is that when the rain don't fall, the water it meets this hose. Then if any water a diligent worker, if any other side will say for go past, and as it walk, it creates road for itself. It spoil hose, it do this, it can. So by the time it reach down, so debris. Well, in other cases, why in fact the National Disaster Agency and there, they create disaster, they can go host them and so forth and so on. Now, more often, people in the talk say, oh, they drain them small, they drain them small. When would they design with roads and not for that red dirty where they come on at the hill? No formula, not there per road design would get a factor when a red dirty where they come on a hill. But also, the way people they may have don't expatiate on that. The waste, solid waste management or disposal. People them they persistently and consistently they throw it and dirty in the waterway. We also know the design with roads and for put dirty. Would the design with roads and for take away the waterway go able for drain the road? For we as highway engineers, it's okay. For let rain come with, a relatively higher intensity, let some flooding happen at the road, it's okay for us. But when that happens, 1 hour, 2 hours, all they go down. Then we could call we road them all-weather road. It means they're able for withstand some amount of water. But it's not supposed to be perpetual and the magnitude at which it can. I want to raise the challenges and then I go to what we don't do towards that. All right. Okay. So, fine. So, in the midst of all of this, we very much conscious say, we drains in. Why should they do them? They go for clog. They go for be silted rather. So, therefore, year after year, in we maintenance programs, we ensure say drainage clearing exercises. Then they part of we annual work program because during this period. The rains them, we get for they clean them from time to time. And if we watch around now, when I see we small scale contractors they involved in that one day. But they are overwhelmed, that's a matter of fact, because waiting the condom, if far much they exceed any expectation. And year after year, they increase more and more. We also ahead of the rains and sometimes even during the rains and after the rains we also they work on maintaining. Then road-related structures, then like some of we culverts, then some of we slabs. Then in fact, quite recently there was tender out for slab, replacement, and we are working on that because we know say then prone to damage, mainly again as a result of human activities. Motorcar then they go, then they pack over with slabs and so forth. Also, we, as part of preparedness, we get implementing departments and roads authority. The one we do with feeder roads, trunk roads, urban roads, we get units that we prepare. So in case any emergency arise, the response, we don't try as best as possible for reduce it to 24 hours. Of course, we have all been seeing the situation of the Mateo Bridge. Within 24 hours, we'll be there. We've drawn up plans how for remedy that situation there, and we are currently working on we midterm plan. So similarly, in the Freetown area, if there are any issues at any time, brought to our notice, either Nawogo Siam or through other stakeholders, or people in the general public, with the ensure we respond. We respond to them as then they call we. Of course, I need not to overemphasize this, but we're in collaboration with a National Disaster Management Agency. Whenever a disaster strike, then they immediately get onto we, and then we go cooperate with them. So, in a sense, those are the sort of things they do, and we'll continue to do them until we feel we don't achieve.
Wow, thank you very much. A lot of things they in common from all the three speakers. And also, they all don't complain about we activities. We building up deforestation, the way they deal with waste management, the way they just dump all things. And each of them say, as a society, we really not prepared for deal with the true effects of the action the world don't cause. Whether now because of how we build, what we cut, how we clear, and anything we don't do so far, especially now then heals them, they get direct effects on the rain and how the rain they affect we. Whether now how we road and the overflow, like I said, the drainage system, the way they don't build. But for somebody to listen, one question we kind of remind now that we all get responsibility. And we don't complain saying that people in faults. That's what I mean on behalf of the people there. We all say the people there, that the action there don't cause this. We also want to know how in your responsibility, the help for engage, for change their human behavior here. I believe in general that people are rational. It seems irrational. I work and dealing with girls. People are married and picking them age 14. They don't hate them picking. Nobody knows it's in picking. They said I'm going to do age 8. You know it's in picking. People are always making decisions that they believe are rational. The post where they go build Pantap Samba Gota, he believes say at that moment's day, at that decision day, then he writes decision. So how would they create counter incentives for people? How would they engage people? And make a talk just now about press conference or press release, say that enough. How would they engage people and for them really see? Most people don't know the connection between where they cut stick and this man in road there. Most people don't know that connection there. We were there when our elites, we know that day. But when I get so many questions that we can online, so what they can do, they can ask all the online questions and they are going to impossible time for them to answer. 3 minutes. Because the media there, then say, well, ask questions and I know one for take the opportunity from them. So at the start, National Disaster Agency, again, Mr. Rogers. So just listen to the question, then I give you the mic, I give you 3 minutes. It is summarize your answer, okay? Waiting at the long-term strategy, then this is not all the questions that we don't come online. As family, we always ask people for sending questions ahead of time. So people like for talk, like say, by the town hall, now no more we don't do that day. That's what we do every week. We ask people to send your questions, and also what we've always done is we don't prioritize the people always sending questions ahead of time. That's another I don't do now for 1 year. Not so. All questions sent online are answered. 1 year. We go town all loud and say, oh, somebody saying a citizen pass we all. We 8 million, we decide say we follow the rule. In your citizen in pass we. Anyway, I did deal with that before done now actually. NDMA, you question there. What's not the long-term strategy we want to implement for prevent this extensive damage from future rains and flooding, especially in vulnerable areas. I feel say you already addressed some of that. Now, make us, I'll just read through the questioning. How now they collaborate for move people and from disaster-prone zones? This is a question where they come up a lot. I think, say, maybe the mayor will say talk about that. When are the plans for make Freetown and the whole country safer? Would you hear about August, say heavy breeze and rain, they come, which are the proactive measures and for curtail there one day? When I get current up-to-date states of underground water hydrogeology for avert the occurrence of other landslide, or we not get any monetary tool at all? That is some kind of science question, but I think I try small. In terms of disaster, what would you do for, in terms of disaster response, if we get adequate flood response logistics for rescue people, and within the response time frame for immediate rescue, and within the urgent action we need to take for reduce the effect of recent flooding? I think some of them questions are then connected. You mentioned 1199. I just want to clarify. Now, an emergency number, not also. So, Family 1199. I guess I can ask you as well, because you say if you're a road, if people are able road. So, if people see the road, don't pull some side here, I for contact now. But before we can do, you get the mic, sir. You get 3 minutes, and this time I keep the time.
Thank you very much. 4 questions. First one, long-term strategy. The long-term strategy actually reflects the way how we engage across government institutions and non-government institutions, and equally the communities. Because from all the conversations we find out, say, most of the problems will be from the community. So, for example, you talk about relocation, the high-risk area outside people live. If much as the money for say and interact wrongly with the environment, you find out, say, well, this is not a problem. So, the long-term strategy is that from that area, they own high-risk areas. As they progress, government will make sure the social practices will be established in some locations, and let people then slowly relocate them. But automatic. You don't forget a lot of involvement, you don't forget a lot of conversation, you don't forget a lot of discussion, and you don't forget a lot of brainstorming exercises. Make sure you get an answer to that. Collaboration, they take place at various levels. Collaboration, they take place at government level, at local level, at local government level, to make sure, say, the result is seen. First of all, we have to make sure, say, we give the knowledge to the population we really at risk for some of the events here. And how would they expect, say, themselves to buy into waiting government that will make sure, say, the population is protected. So that's very key. And we make sure, say, we develop a safety mechanism in terms of making sure that the population is protected, giving the people the right knowledge, understand the risk, understand the hazard, understand the vulnerability, and ensure, say, they're not in the harm's way of disaster to do the problem for their lives. Disaster response in terms of flood management. This is very key. It's good. A lot of declaration. Because issues where they deal with water, not to do it easy. It's complex. They get a lot of institutions who they work together with, not to no more. I can assure you, say, it's very much administration another year. But they're very key in all of this. Because this is not rainy season. It's possible to say something that happen on the high sea, where it will lead to a great problem for the population for a particular boat, or for people that are waiting at the seafronts, or for communities where they are around the Atlantic seaboard. So then communities and they normally they at least where they come a high flooding. The one then where then they inland, for example, in Freetown, in Bo, in Kenema, in McKinney, then places then we need to give them knowledge. And we need to tell them, say, A, B, C, D, they not for do, where they come for make sure, say, for protect their own life, and this they for do. And make sure, say, we're in constant communication with them, constant engagement. Mr. Minister, make I assure you, after the talk, you get the National Disaster Management Agency to get our partners. Then they inside various communities now, and they tell the public clearly what's expected of them and what's enough for them.
John Van de Rogers, my name, a Deputy Executive Director for NDMA. Thank you so much. Madam Mayor, 10 questions now you get. So I read all they argue 3 minutes, so I'm not saying you do them. They say Mayor been in Lumley Beach this morning and he experienced filthy beach, as his person put on. I will keep Freetown clean and ensure say the citizens and dispose waste properly. It already addressed the spots, okay? Number 2, within the overall success rate of the Freetown 3-town projects for try for curb flooding, so you're really tied to flooding. Within the current state of waste dumping in the drainage facilities. Madam Mayor, we locality now you major responsibility. With now you challenge in making the Freetown municipality and environmentally friendly for the people the way they occupy them. Waiting the government they do to for collaborate with the Freetown mayor for make changes. Please let you not mention billions of loans. I don't know why this person say that, but every year we experience flood in Freetown. Waiting city council, why city council not they take proactive step for minimizing the risk and the effect of disaster? Waiting city council, why city council not they work in collaboration with lands for enforce law for prevent people and for build shacks under them bridge and flood prone area? Between FCC and government, who have responsibility than they for prevent flood in Freetown? How much on don't budget or spend on flooding in the last 6 years? Mayor, do you explain how FCC plan for fulfilling drainage management duties, despite what the person call the gap or discrepancy in the English word the person used between FCC then tweet and the Local Government Act of 2022? Madam Mayor, for build markets, now part of your responsibility, do you if not so, how many markets that you don't build and what you do about the Lumley temporary markets? With 3 minutes starts now.
Okay. On Lumley Beach, interestingly, from 2018, the then Minister of Tourism specifically instruct council say, no till we get the beach and we're not for clean the beach. So you can notice, say, of the 843 people where they sweep, 180 streets, it not include Lumley Beach. But under the new minister, funny enough, when I walked 2 days ago, I actually called the head of NTB and say, we need to talk. You know, I know that we don't get a meeting whilst I'm in town, but we're actually going to move beyond waiting now for my minister say, and we're going to begin to and work. But we go work on the streets, not the beach. We go focus on the sweeping the street, but also help in any way because there's a lot of plastic there.
What I say, I job for clean. The beach.
So from 2018, we were informed that it was the Ministry of Tourism and the National Tourist Board for do all the beaches, not just Lumley Beach. So we're not being involved. But under this new leadership, I believe say we're going to change and we're going to work together. The next one, somebody say if we see impact of the tree planting, and absolutely. Beside and outside with trees and they survive. At the moment, the last audit, we had an 82% survival rate, the last World Bank audit. We know, say from that to now, many areas are not be challenged because of the illegal deforestation where they go on, but notwithstanding that, any side outside the trees then plant and then stand, you actually see significant improvement. There was a question about waiting for curb the dumping, waste dumping. I go use this platform for inform listeners, viewers, the media. Say Freetown City Council, they in the process of introducing a new bylaw for sanitation. It don't go far. It started with the ministry we get for Sampling and Force Ministry of Local Government. Then they send them to the AG's office. AG they send them back to in the legal format. It go back to the ministry. Then it go to Parliament. We don't consult the parliamentarians, then really they're on side. So we get confidence, say when it go to Parliament, then don't tell we say 21 days. and it will be, when they lay them, then go pass them. That law, we can't only get 3 minutes. I'm not going to explain them, but I go tell and I say it will make a significant impact because it will take the crime away. Currently under the 2010 bylaw, when you catch you the trade dot in a street, na in the crime. Under this new bylaw, it's going to be compulsory for let everybody get registered waste providers. So if you not get Uda the collect dot in that you owe, now they the problem they start. So that bylaw they get for change things and considerably. And it comes with a whole infrastructure as well. But on another day, we will explain that day. Somebody else talk about the challenges of Freetown, waiting at the biggest challenge. I will tell you without hesitation, the biggest challenge of Freetown is not having land use planning and building permits. An effective land use planning or building permit regime. Me as mayor, we're responsible for the city, and yet, if 10-story building they go up now, we not know. If person the building Nagota, we not know. We just see them. There is absolutely no place at which we are consulted, informed, or our advice is sought.
The power you want or not the
no, not the effective
you want. Because if you say now una they give the permits, it's separate from saying we know they know. So one way, I don't say for the purpose of argument,
so I can tell you, I can tell you say the reason why it's best practice for land use planning and building permitting to be devolved to local governments everywhere. I mean, you've lived in the US, you've lived in the UK, you know it's a council function. Why? Because the authority we get for deliver this relevant services, we're most affected. So I'll go collect dirty if you give us inside for build. You say we're responsible for flooding. Yeah, the person where they put us give permit for let us build na flood prone area. Not we all talk na for blame the people. I believe say Motaman, wait easy na go do. Now make you need laws and you need enforcement. And that enforcement they now believe say missing. And for able for enforced land use planning and building permit, you have to be closer to the ground. It can't be done by a small unit at a national level. And to your next question, you say, somebody say, what do we do about with drainage management's responsibility? I want to tell them, say, contrary to waiting and rights, but the discrepancy with the local government act, let you show me say we get responsible for drainage. I believe, say, Esselarido explained, say that they roll that, and of course, we always there for support. The person asked about markets. Yes, absolutely. We almost don't complete by, I would say in the next 6 weeks, we're going to open the markets now. Wilberforce. The temporary market now Lumley Noto Council, intervention done by the Ministry of Transport as part of the World Bank funded SLI project. But council don't actually make a commitment inside the latest development agenda for build 4 markets between now and 2028. As I say, one of them is almost complete. 2 more questions. Somebody say, Uda responsible if for flooding, if na government or na council. I believe that the man responsible for flooding, they right now. But the way how then do MDNA, you know, say we get the different levels, take up to silver. And waiting and doing, they get different levels of disaster. So at the lowest level of disaster, the local authorities then get responsibility for work with MDNA. But the overall responsibility for disaster, now the National Disaster Management Agency. And I think the last question was, the last question was about building under bridges. Yes. Why we not collaborate with Ministry of Lands. So again, I think it comes back to this point. I believe, say, there's a lot of scope for more collaboration when it comes to this business of where things are built and how. But I will quickly say as well, when it comes to prevention and improving, reducing the risks of flooding, particularly for informal settlements on the coastline, another alternative now for actually improve the drainages within that. And we don't see, say we do that in Susan's Bay with great effect. Recently, we get significant flooding in our culvert, but you go notice, say, the flooding in our Crew Bay also don't be reduced, and there's more drainage works that we plan for do. So I think it's a continuous process, but at the heart of it, land use planning, building permits go significantly improve service delivery and disaster risk reduction. Thank you.
All right, Your Worship, thank you very much. I give you extra time because we can get that conversation in between. Mr. DG, you get 3 questions, then so we'll give 2 minutes. As for SLIA, we see me could not allow squads at them na the streets of Western area with only markings of paint and no demolition. They make we road there unsafe. The old country they stink. So we see make SLIA they put slab for cover the field where they underneath. I don't know what's possible they do. Let the left hand. Bible road from Dewey to Freetown Junction don't be badly affected by the dry rain. This is a result of poor quality road work and if possible, we say this for don't be preventable.
All right. So, of course, Minister, don't help me ask a question about the slab then. Now, for safety reasons, anyway. Then, I don't know, waiting the stink on a little, so obviously, we'd expect water for candy, and when rain comes, rain for stink. For Baibue Road, of course, we know, say, from Jue on to Wellington, if it's part of the Wellington-Mashaka Road, and that should be in good shape, because then you also don't do them. But from the Wellington on to Kleintown, most of which, the Baibue Road fall within, that road, it don't last for more than 30 years. And when they've been doing them, the traffic forecast we then use, it would on quadruple. We road in age now by motocar the way they work up and they determine them. So obviously, we've made plans for all them, but the financial requirement is just so enormous. But whenever we get that opportunity, we make them well again. With respect to squatters, well, this is another thing. The Sierra Leone Roads Authority, I don't tell you, we are engineers there, they make road them for making, we have move and we get accesses. We're not a law enforcement body. What happens is, people, yes, I'm coming. People in there where they go put themselves on the right of way, and it just spread like wildfire to the extent that, honestly, we don't get that kind of capacity there. And it's not only happening in Freetown; it's happening all over the country. It's a work on its own. However, we don't in recent times try to collaborate with local councils, for example, and the police. For me, we able to pull as much as them put in the way with along the right of way illegally. Of course, in some instances, the roads authority provide permissions. For example, fare stations. You drive motorcar, you fare go down at some point in time, you don't know. So you're not going to go pin and you go fend yourself for buy fare. So those ones, essential services, we are providing rights of way permissions for them. But in the long run, we intend to remove all of them and bring forward a strategy we will make a more regularized. Whoever would give permission for dinner the right of way. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. So 2 quick things for add here is that at the last town hall, His Excellency the President make something very clear. He said anybody with a build inside the green zone, whether not in mama, in brother, in famble, in Peking, he said they broke the host them. He was very, very clear. So I think, the panelists in Google for hearing that. That's when I get the full support of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Salone, and he cared deeply about this issue. So now something we need to take action on. Also, what's clear to me is, as soon as they talk, when they continue to mention different actors, the police don't care, the ONS don't care, these lands don't care. So this is now a conversation where we just start. Of course, we're supposed to get Minister of Environment here, but he travel, and there. And so he's sending apologies. But I think, at another time, Your Worship, with all collaboration, we will do an expanded conversation, maybe in the form of a major town hall. We will get all the players, everybody around the table for talk away, because this issue really affects we all. We all with lives and they at stake here, because the city they under a bit of a siege. Time for questions. Additional questions. All right. We know the rules. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. 5, and then we'll come for the rest of us. So we'll go down that way, starting with the lady. Quick.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name Fatty was the Modeshola Wisha content at the work for Women's Voice newspaper. When my first question, they go to Mr. Rogers from NDMA. Mr. Rogers, he talked about say when they go around for sensitize people and all. But I do a quick visit na the Kube community and get for interview some people and then talk say they're not nobody told free line. They're not ever anybody told free line. They're not aware. That means the awareness not there. And so I worship the mayor. Concerning this clean salon, you say them they come all man forget a registration of waste management collector. I want to ask if the clean salon bubble them, where they can pass every time they collect dirty at different roads there. If then they under the Freetown City Council. That's my question.
And now let person listen to that lady we don't asking questions so and think say inside get the right for ask 2 questions. The reason we make her allow him because na woman. And then one get na woman will put up in hand. Everybody now 1 question per person. No preface. Straight. Go on.
Good afternoon. Ahmed Right Today. My question they go to now all yonder. But now one, because the combination is fine, just like what Mr. Minister said. The issue now don't clear. We have to deal with flooding and that of disaster. But according to the mayor, the issue of drainage system, very key now will lead to them two things there. We also get for deal with the SLR. How much I don't think further because here in here out so they get flooding. For make sure they will add the gutters them. Because the statistics way, Madam Mayor.
Bro. Next.
All right. So how much not only think further for add the gutter them.
Thank you.
For deep them.
Okay.
And wide them for prevent further flooding.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Next question. Next person.
Okay. My name is Mahmoud Silla from the Nature newspaper. My question they go to Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers, you don't talk about Freetown issue, but I take you from Freetown. I send you to the entire country as your mandate expand. We don't see disasters there where they happen now other countries then. One example is Libya, and I see one video back we come up from Kenya. I don't know how regular when they check with Guma Valley Water Company and that of Ministry of Energy, made them go to check on then dams them, the strength of them. Because if you look at the Guma Dam is over 60-something years old. If you look at the kind of disaster where they happen, so I don't know how regular would I check on it.
Now, my man is having me now, so I just get in the eye, you get the message. Yes.
I want to Patrick Kama, SLBC.
I want to go.
Mr. DG, SLRA, people don't question the professionalism so far as to how we know the award contracts, so contractors, the one that they send for the maintenance of the roads. Now, kind of dabbing rather than doing proper maintenance. At the end of the day, you find out, say, before the end of the year, now can cause a return of the same problem. How we are going to ensure we start for the monitor, then maintenance there, so that we will get proper maintenance fixed up instead of like just dabbing.
Good question. Next, Naya number 5 day. Who don't number 5 we do one more than the so we're patient. Yes.
Okay, so Mina Justice Salon from Sarah Fox Media, and my question go to Madam Mayor. So if they talk about service providers, them the one then way to go like for monitor or for get at them garbages them or then notice them, around the community or them different houses them. But that's not something where we see now certain communities them lacking, like how you say, the access, then thing and they so that it creates way for this for the community or people in the community for create their own way for dump them not in day. So I want to know, and also first we don't see outside the ministry we get, when our council we get sanitary officers and where we go monitor houses them for dirty them, so that people can go know how to take care of them places them. Together that the way they need. So I want to know if that is still continue a day that unit day, and also them places they will not get the access, for what taking dirty them day. How are they plan also for CC or not able reach and inside them they gather them and left them they clean some over they have.
Thank you very much. All right, panel, we can't now. We got a few questions there for answer. You know what? I'll start with you, SLA, this time, and then we can this way. SLA, one big question we can, the brother we been the give the lecture. They say when they expand the drainage, they make them deeper, bigger, when they get plans. But there's an important question about the professionalism of those who are the award on a contract too, and the quality of the work they do. I want to maybe talk to quality control. I want to assure say we contract don't be giving on the verify and see the quality, because not to tell these complaints, they come on a getting contract and then problem happens. So to speak to those and then we come to the other panelists then.
All right, so with respect to the drains, we will continue for the micro drains and bigger and deeper. Because even when you do the drain, you get to call the slope. So you not going to make them deeper to the extent that we're not able to go drain again at the lowest point. But that besides, you're not going to make your drains and bigger to the point that the drains they don't even big past the roads them. There are issues and we need to be addressed, and I think I don't need to go over that. We don't talk a whole lot on them. If those are not addressed, you will always feel say with drains are not adequate enough, but they are adequate. also will need for do maintenance, repairs, for increase the capacity, as will be suggested by studies, would it one. Respect to me, SLBC brother, I don't make you doubt we are the Roads Authority with professionalism. And as a matter of fact, we know the GE contracts them, we the award contracts them. Award contract means somebody don't come up for them, they qualify for get them, they will get them. I think it is specifically talk about pothole patching. Right. Now, you obviously don't get your observation from some of the roads in Freetown. Some of the roads in Freetown, they are 50 years and more old. So which means just like you cut in close, where you don't wash them 15, 30, 40 times. So if you where you see you don't find safe in the chair. Then you go stitch them. When you stitch them, when you can't sometimes you don't see you gladly pan as the AC hand up in the chair again. That's the condition that our roads are in. But however, they work very strongly for ensure year after year we take up some of them roads there and include them into rehabilitation projects. We all bear evidence that there are new roads that we are doing. So that's the process. We'll get there eventually.
But Mr. Mamadou, in your contention, say we not get no bad subcontracts, so we don't do bad work.
No. I don't think that will be in question. Let me cannot address that.
It's the qualities. Let me ask you for a talk back on the question of quality control.
Right. So okay. With respect to the quality control, we they ensure. And we assure you, we ensure, we work very closely with the specifications, we give contractors them, and we supervise them. We get a whole regiment of engineers them, and each job gets the specific engineer where they supervise them, follow, ensure the thing happy. Bad contractors, well, in any silos on a day, there must be people in way they know they comply. But those sort of people, we get ways that they treat them. So they blacklist them. We don't ever give them contracts there again.
Say, when there are problems, as we will have in any institution, that will not get the mechanism for holding to accounts and for blacklisting, sometimes in fact punish them, because I know some I do that. Madam Bayo, you also get a few questions. Waste management, there's something about clean saloon, how then they work. But you might also maybe be interested in responding to the question really relates to the Goma Valley threats and checking the damage. The question landed for the Deputy DG. And then Sarah Fox Media. He say whether they check on the status of existing dams. You might be interested in talking about that, because I know Freetown is currently under the threat of potential the Goma Dam essentially breaking. And you're interested in that. And then the question on Sarah Fox, the last one we come in, the board asked about, whether you go beyond. Okay, so good. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So the first one could be to the lady with regards to clean salon. So let me just clarify Udan a clean salon, because we get different clean salon. The clean salon, you get clean salon when I've been the guys that when they use the tricycles right at the beginning, before 2016. One project they with their name clean salon. Then good, they're okay. Then when they can come and register with council. The clean salon, we're not there with we. Now the clean salon, where they come, take you dirty, he work a small 11 ground. Then the guy, anybody where the worker, broom and blind, where the worker will not get vehicle, no say, he not get for take that dirty day, go na the waste disposal site. You know they go King Tom, you know they go Kissy. He can left on a gutter, he put on a water side, he put in the middle of the road. So that clean salon day, they're not the way at all. So the question, I think I go one step further for just add, because I know say in the past, people don't say to me, but then they try for make a living. Yes, we appreciate that. But we also appreciate, say, we need forget systems. And under the new bylaw, we go get the city to be divided into 8 blocks. Each of them blocks them, the bids then they out now. In fact, the bid opening next week, Monday. For let we get a service provider, where go be responsible for household waste collection at each of their 8 blocks. So 8 service providers. Then go need manpower and we need workforce. So sometimes someone then clean salon, but then go get job day. But we really need for do them in a manner in which we not end up take you money, put and down. I don't want to be disrespectful, but sadly a lot of them be driven by the kush addiction. So then literally they take the money for use them, and there's nothing more beyond that. I go come on to your point now because it's linked. Wait till we do with the informal settlements and hard to reach areas. Usai, even then service providers not go able to get access. So we did in the process of testing. We don't choose 2 communities for do this test. One at Krube, one at Mount Oriel. Wait till we tend for do. Interestingly, we kind of the land from the clean salon bobo them and get we own version of clean salon. But waiting will happen we come with vehicles to the community. So let's say, for example, na Mount Oriel community. If not Tuesday 4 o'clock with the candy, we engage with the stakeholders, everybody, megaphone, so they go know say every Tuesday, every Friday, 4 o'clock, FCC the car with their vehicle. We go send people then up into the communities. But one thing very, very important is that dirty not free. For dispose of waste costs money. You get fuel, you get manpower, you get maintenance. So even though we bring the waste collection to them, we not create dump sites. We don't want anybody that can left in dirty go. You come, you put your dirty inside a vehicle, you pay as you do that. And that whole question of enforcement continues, coming on to your point about the sanitation officers, that one they continue with community engagement. It's not easy. The Freetown Usai we've been getting sanitary inspectors, we've been go with carbolic and then back, they go spray. That was a Freetown with 500,000 people living in it. Not a Freetown with 1.5 million people living in it. And your last question was the drainage. I want to take that drainage one. Yeah. The one we say, you know, we want more drains. Actually, it's not just about the drains them way SLRA they do. The water they start from the mountain. You go notice say Bokusai. The water they make in your own way. In fact, that's such a, we've lost lives when people they try for cross that water day. So having drainages through the mountains is really important, but it comes back again to land use planning and building permit. Do not have a system in which person they able for go build. Na 6 ostongo dong na moibaso. You know, because people then don't build side usai, the ground not solid. There's no drainage. The dirty, the soak.
Council didn't get this power. You need to stop them people in the 4 billion.
Let's tell you the difference. I know they talk about Freetown City Council. I go like for let you bring the 22 council leaders from Pujeun, from Kenema, from Port Loko, from Karine. Waiting at the talk. They all the talk. The difference between we and it being done at the national level is that we have a footprint everywhere. We are close to communities. So tell you the bill, begin bill. You not on count to council with the no, which is very different to a situation where it's being done at a national level.
Okay, so it's more about an enforcement.
It's about enforcement and being connected. But I also just want to say one last thing. Let me also not forget climate change. On Sunday, I was meant to be traveling to the Philippines for a C40 meeting.
And then they get a monsoon?
No, yeah, typhoon. So the city, the mayor where I forgot meet, her city is underwater. Yeah. Then it no matter how many drainage bill. Yeah. Not a drainage business. So let me also bear that in mind. Yeah. Climate change is having an impact.
All right. Thank you very much. Deputy DG Rogers, you get a few questions. One, that sister say, hey, that community engagement you see to do, in go down there, then go ask people, and nobody told free number. I don't talk this talk, say not to press conferences, press release, they add this problem. So maybe you will comment on that quickly. But the question of how would they monitor the strength of we dam then around the country, and whether we get the capacity for check on them on them dam then they. So now you question and then quickly. Because I want to do one more round with your permission, and then we go.
The reference is Libya, of course, for our see how people die, some people watching the inheritance. We get some dams inside Civic, one of which is Mavali Dam. The other one we make mention about the Mavali Dam, the construction in 1960 just at the time of independence. That dam was spent for 300,000 people in Africa. The population strength of the dam left hand of 1.5 million, and realized the dam gets a lot of pressure. That dam, Atfield Dam, we will use science to build for compound and Atfield Dam. So the development will be done to take place around the Mavali Dam. When I find out, the National Disaster Management Agency will go around there, will do complete assessment, we find out, development will take place in terms of building and construction, we raise the alarm bell. And when we raise the alarm bell, we raise them at different channels. We raise them together with the Office of National Security, which I will get other players the way this is done, but we still say now an issue with the deal with environmental security, that we discuss and comprehensively. And they get for brief the president. So the president go to the place. Instead of let go see, or instead putting the happen. They find out the buildings and they come up close to the dam. And they therefore make sure that they pass 3 instructions. Number 1, they stop all the development where they take place in that particular area. Number 2, instruct for let them do security deployment, so the police and the ASLAF, they do joint deployment. And number 3, they set an investigation team for know clearly how people that money gets then land in there around that Mavali. So the report that we submitted to him, I'm not surprised, Honorable Minister, we say the president is more than the word determined, make sure all of the structures and they where they are around Mabali, make sure then streamline them so that they don't affect the dam, because the dam is the only dam who will get inside Freetown, where the whole population will depend on. So then thing I know they happen as a result of magic and because of the engagement with the National Disaster Management Agency. The second dam we'll get when at the Kumuna Dam, it's a dam where it supply electricity to Freetown. We don't do 2 simulation drills for determining the security and the stability of a particular dam. We run together with Minister of Energy and about 25 state institutions, together with 140 villages where they are around the riverbed. We make sure we look at the dam, we assess the capacity, and make sure in terms of overflow, we think will be the responsibility of all of those 150 communities where they are along that particular riverbed. So year in, year out, we do that kind of engagement. Also, we will construct the meadow engagement now the dam where they cycle my district. But each of them dams where they under discussion, we engage, we don't make sure they don't bring results. The last question where they deal with the toll-free line, sometimes the sister will don't do some put sampling where they talk to few people then. But at the one for assure you say this line where they exist at the outset of the statement, I say the 5-story building will collapse. Is as a result, we get information through the 1199 line. So this tells you the line is effective. Assure say what you get for do, but take the whole process, for people to advertise the line, so that many Sierra many Victorians will use them at the time when they inside stress.
As the Minister of Information, a part of your responsibility for providing information there, I go assure you say we self go use the platform them for share that toll-free line them more, so more people then will know. So we can never have too much information. Let me premise that day. You can never have too much information. Last and final round. So if I'm not calling out this one pass, you pull 4 cards or something, you pull them. 1, the par, 90 number 1. Number 2, the man with the brown jacket. Number 3, the man in the purple. Number 4, the gentleman with bald. And then number 5, the lady with the beard. Sorry, we get for go.
Yes. Mohamed Kumara, The Watch, Sankara Media Platform. Her Majesty, you can recall.
Her Majesty?
Sorry.
Her Worship.
Her Worship, sorry.
Okay.
Her Worship. You can recall the 2021-2022, you, together with other 14 municipalities globally, received the sum of $1 million each in recognition of a project you presented to that committee, which consists of deforestation, and of course, you also get a planting of trees. Critics will say you never spent that money judiciously because there are no indicators of the fact. This is a platform for you to get people to understand much more better what went wrong with that money, or could you give us more classification of how you spent the money? Thank you.
Now we don't know this par camera, now we resident celebrating at this press conference. Now you know what they allow for talk and they stop. All who begin explain the court now. Go ahead, sir.
Ibrahim Sarasisi, Voice of Salon Radio, and Deputy DG. And we don't see disaster in the increase at this particular moment in this country, based on the fact that the mining areas also don't in a critical situation at this moment. Taking you back to the Bumbuna Hydro with the talk about. Like so for at this particular moment, we don't see a huge mining, we don't kill people. As an agency, how we don't go about for curtail the issues there with the happy in the side and then at the provinces?
Thank you, sir.
Ibrahim Sori from a political newspaper. My question you go to the mayor and talk about 900 and something thousand trees that we don't plant, then 300,000 more. How will they ensure say then trees that are not only for making una plant them, but with the complaint and cry of deforestation? How FCC they ensure say some of them trees they are una the plant? Because so many Israelians they say una the plant trees, but they need see them trees in there. It's either they deforestate them trees in there or not. That's on the question.
Thank you. Number 4.
My question not already be asked, but it's still managed to ask another question.
No, give other person. Be very kind. Be nice today. Give me a chance. Let one other person now answer. Today, just give the mic now. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate you for your benevolence. Yes, it's very good. Yes, go ahead. Thank you. Yes.
Mina Bodan Kamari, right for New Citizen newspaper. This question is for you, Mr. Minister of Information.
Yes.
can do here, or they get conference, or they take questions both online and offline.
Yes.
But in the town hall, they tell you authoritatively say 100% of the questions then we entertain now be online. Over 20 to 30 journalists, they then at the all, you know, give at least 1 or 2 journalists for putting question across. So, as the president rightly say, now a farm will talk. And farm will talk, okay, for the talk the honest truth for effect change. Thank you.
Wait, question Dede?
Question Dede, the reason why you don't allow journalists to ask questions.
Okay, thank you. The lady, 90 number 4.
Maria Mabundu, the report for News Times Daily. Every year we get problems of disasters, deforestation. I want to know if we need to see when people in the building and them hillside them, because whenever they start construction, they get for cut the trees and do the foundation and whatsoever they do. But una they see, una they wait first until rain season come. Disaster begin happen before ever una respond to them thing and they or for stop them people and they for men and not continue for building and them places then they.
All right, thank you very much. Because of that person, we skipping question. I'll give the gentleman in front of you at the final question.
Kita Unity. It go to the disaster management officer. Then there's a with the deputy minister of energy. And Salon, the only source of energy where the country own Bunguna. If we do not take time, we know they get even 1 megawatt from Bunguna. Currently, the past years, according to the minister and the residents of the place, they currently inside July they will get like 50 to 40 something megawatts. But currently they always get below 20 megawatts. The hydro they down totally because they say they get mining and so for take candle. They get whole where this ocean they go inside.
Senior man.
So no.
We will get briefing on this issue. Yeah. We'll talk on
okay, so
that question now for the panel.
What thing una they do for stop that? If you don't they under una mandate for stop all the illegal mining activities in other places. Thank you.
So this question now the same question actually will be already come. So NDA made the question say how would they curtail issues and for deal with mining related. Environmental disasters that are mining related, they're very important. I think that is the only question. And then the other one is, when I see the building there, when I see being in the building, when I wait in the season, what's in your role in terms of for prevent and enforce? And not say the mayor they can talk back about town, but as we know, 85% of the buildings don't have permits. So building permits doesn't solve the problem on its own.
If you can enforce the building permits.
Yes, but most of these people enjoy to go build and not get permits. Anyway, go ahead after you get your chance in a second.
Two questions.
Yes.
One of which they deal with mining activities. We not go and see how we deal with mining, but the question we ask the deal directly with mining and then should be the disaster as a result of mining activities. So how that just respond to issue on this. The first case in point is that we respond to group assessment of mining. The assessment then lead you to a point, scientific assessments based on use of hazard and these are tools. And when we don't get then kind of result, because we don't know the decision we do mine activities, basically the decision. Tell them this is the problem. And that it's fairly rest now commission of Civic. They don't have to for areas like Ministry of Lands. They don't get areas that they don't construct, they don't tell them, they don't do assessments. This assessment before they point to the party, the people continue to stay there, they will result in disaster. So normally right officially, we just sign off. Make sure the letter and go as an information.
And then our lands then job now for enforce?
Yes, because the NDM will not get enforcement power.
Who are the brokers? Who are get the power for demolish?
The Ministry of Lands and
Okay. And then you had a second question.
The way they deal with building, where they come up along the hills. The same thing where they try to address.
Okay.
Over time, we find out the way they come up, the area. So area and they like, who's having your development, who's having that period, we then try to come down. That area, we don't do assessment, then area in the slope, and because of that, we share that information. Say this place and this don't have to do, people don't speak for area, and therefore action has to be taken.
All right.
And then we begin enforcement part,
The one thing I will add to you as a citizen as well is when you see that building they go up, we not just wait for the authorities, but we also now for take and say, because our all lives in danger now, we say for call and report and allow the action for lay start. But you're right, ultimately we need the enforcement.
Honorable Minister, make I just add, there was one building where I am tech. I should say all man belongs to social media. That building don't come up with everybody. We don't do the assessment, we don't identify the list, we don't look at the hazard, we don't do the interpretation, we don't do scientific recognition for the attention of the various ministries. So you find out, would play with your class, or the platform inform the various issues.
This issue definitely deserves a big town hall. We need Minister of Lands Naya, we need everybody around the table. Madam Mayor, Mr. Kamara, may resident celebrity talk about funds with a very specific project.
Oh, yes.
It's still clarify. And then I think, and then the trees, I would track the trees. I would make sure say, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Kamara. So, in 2021, Freetown City Council, along with 14 other cities around the world, win the Bloomberg Global Mayor's Challenge. Winner $1 million. $1 million when you win them, not account to Freetown City Council. The implementation of the project across the 15 cities, they be done through UNDP, New York, and Germany. The money, they go to them. For a number of reasons, including, say, UNDP changed their own internal processes, the project not be able to start until this year, February. If you look at my Facebook page, you go see Usai, the Bloomberg team, then come in country for the inception meeting, when I've been this year, February. Next question is, waiting the $1 million for, in respect of Freetown, the Tree Town. Freetown, the Tree Town, starts off with the planting of 1 million trees. It'll be funded by 3 sources. The first original funding come from the World Bank in a project called Russell P., Resilient Urban Sierra Leone Project. The next set of funding come from this Bloomberg funding. The 300,000 trees where I just mentioned, say, to be planted now as I talk to you, come from another World Bank funding, we then call PSSNYE. The Bloomberg Leone elements, the reason why we win the project, why we win the prize, now because we put forward a sustainability model. Now, I answer the second question about where the trees and join them together. Why Freetown, the Tree Town don't make headlines? Now, because of the nature of the project. Every tree, and I just don't send to minister the link so that you can go onto a digital platform. I don't send on my own phone because Ingo able share them.
You go on the updates who they share.
Ingo able share with Una.
Exactly.
Okay. So when we start in 2020 with the first funding, the Russell P funding, every tree where we plant, it gets a unique identifier code. So it gets in tag. When you plant the trees, the sustainability elements, they come from the community ownership. We get CBOs them, we're responsible. We get 11 planting areas, catchment areas, we extend beyond Freetown because of course we water the word sea. So you get we support plants around Guma, you support other places, Usai water, catchments and they for the benefit of Freetown. Every tree individually tagged. Every tree get in tree grower. Where in the plan that tick, it is snap them. It upload the picture of the tree onto this database where you go see where minister go share. You go see the face of the person when are irresponsible for plant. That person we pay them by mobile money as the tree they grow. So you get tree growers, you get tree monitors, you get stewards. The Bloomberg in your side where they bring CAM, where we get the money for, as I say, in sustainability on 2 levels. One, for able, because that first platform where we built was a World Bank funded platform. We not own them. Now we can build we own platform, we own digital platform, we go be the property of Freetown City Council, not to other person. So somebody money will go to that. The other important side where the money they go, Napan, what we call the carbon market. So the green trees, as we know, they produce carbon. There's a market for that, carbon sequestration. Then you reduce carbon in the environment. So the reduction of that carbon, that's something people they want for pay for. So that money they go towards the hiring of a carbon developer, which has been done. We don't sign. Then they on doing the studies with the partner, with the water fund, where also they look at carbon. In respect of the other person in question, say where are the trees? You'll see the trees. Those trees there are the first Russell P trees. The first set of trees, about 400,000, because the system where we build now we go migrate all the other trees onto.
So
and
if
finally,
sick die, I go on the app, I go notice, I go see them.
yes, because periodically, periodically then they update. And then of course, because now internationally funded money, the donors themselves, they do audits. Then they commission independent audits of the trees. So we get reports. The last audit report was done by the World Bank. And at that point, that was before, I think it was just before I left office, it was 82% survival. And I will just close by saying two very, very important things. Collaboration at an intergovernmental level. Last week, we get a meeting at which we invite EPA, NPAA, Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Local Government, and others. Waiting do. Because we don't get situations where we don't plant. I will give two examples. Hill Station and Wilberforce. Southside, we plant thousands of trees, where subsequently that land was given or sold, or however it's done, leased by Ministry of Lands for use. So all of those trees were cut down. The other thing we're very important, and I'm sorry for belabor this, but I just want to bring this, because 82% of our cooking fuel in this city is wood or wood-based. 82% of people then waiting and they use for cook, not charcoal. So if you use charcoal for cook, and we just grow as a city, we not get the risk of the trees and they continue. So one of the other things that we do now for provide alternative for charcoal. So if you hear about the wastewater treatment plants na King Tom, usai waiting to come on our toilets, we process them. Waiting to come out of that, we don't experiment for 2 years, and we don't succeed now. We able now for produce a briquette where the cook, where the burn like charcoal, good one. At the moment, we produce 2,000 tons a week, but we have machines coming in country in September. We will allow it for make 2,000 tons an hour.
Right.
So we begin sell that one day as an alternative to charcoal.
All right, thank you. I want to tell the president, thank you, because now don't be patient with you today. We extend by 30 minutes because of the candy. My brother, if I'm not candy now, wait here again. Adea, candy, please, patience, okay? So last week, the Ministry of Information hosts, I'd use my words very carefully, a historic, unprecedented, and a hugely successful national town hall with His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Millions of Sierra Leoneans at home and abroad interact with, witness, and we'll release the numbers very soon, on various platforms. We track all the digital engagements and interactions with the press conference. We've been there with the town hall. We've been there live on every major television station in the country. We've been there live on at least 2 community radio stations at every single district and major radio stations all across the country. Me TikTok, for example, I post one short video. I only get about 8,000 followers. I know they use TikTok all the time. That video that I post, it gets 130,000 views and multiple impressions. Never in the history of this country, as I recall, that the leader of the country sit down on a platform 3 straight hours without notes, without paper, unfiltered, responding to questions from, as you said it, citizens. Every single question that was asked on that day came from a citizen of Sierra Leone. Part of the people of this country, we decide for follow the rules. A legitimate question, why we not allow journalists them for ask? Simple. We make clear a press conference. We'll start this press conference. In the past, press conference, like how mayor council, mayor counting people them, and then they sit down here. What also? What also be? Would I put foot say press conference now? Una get not to me. Press conference is for the journalist. Elect 10 minister Kanaya, now una get the priority. Not so I say, because a press conference is for the press. A town hall, on the other hand, is not a press conference. Okay, sir? And I've been very clear. When we're ready for host His Excellency for a press conference, my brother, we will. When His Excellency ready for make a tour of the different media houses, I assure you he will. What we don't do since I become minister, now for expand opportunities for citizens' engagement with the leaders across political parties on different issues and with credibility. Every single question, you can go online now. It's still the day. I challenge everybody. The one they will say, we'll cook the question. I go cook question. I ask President Biya about FGM, a controversial issue, about census, about peace, about prices of goods, and all these things. Now, citizens of Sierra Leone, and they ask about hardship, and they wanted His Excellency to respond. He was gracious enough to respond. And for response to another issue. The plan we've been get for the town hall was for 1 hour, 30 minutes. Now we agree with His Excellency, Sidonde, with all the media houses. After the first break with our circuit born, His Excellency now turned to me and say, not to every day would they do this. You get more questions than that, Mr. Minister. Ask as many as you can. Let's keep going. His Excellency now allow follow go on. In team, and I can say this not for disparage them, they kept sending me notes. You do so now, quarter now, low end now. Not so. My team know that. They may talk to me and me is. But I've been sitting down with the president, and the president say, continue. Until we reach a point now where we say, okay, Lord, bring and cancel a close. Now, at that minute, the man don't sit down. 3 hours. You know, take no bathroom break. You know, grab. He say, okay, Lord, close. I say, Lord, close now. They ask her now for let's do with the honor of launching this magazine. Now, in that one citizen, they grab, say, in a citizen, he counting passports for talk. We don't need 3 hours. We announced the rules in advance. I'm sorry. Even for this press conference, when I know me, now we President Bill agree. Me, I design minimum under everything I said under there, I stand by it. If you can this press conference, if I bring the mayor here, I owe him respect. If he agree for Canada, I owe him respect. If I tell him, I saw the rule then day, I for respect him. If he don't done, he don't give me in time, he say 2 hours, he don't done, he don't go 1 hour extra, he say one go. Then you can say, because you're a journalist, if you talk, that would be rude and it would be impolite. And I will call you out for that. And me not go give you the mic. Now because President Bill Green, I could get that lady the mic. And personally, I'm not being forgetting the mic. Not so because I hate him, not so because he not get right for talk, not so because he not get right for asking a question, but I believe, say me, I'm raised well. The president, somebody saying a public servant, not true, not public servant, but not to his servants now. There's a difference. A public servants, but you need to talk to her all kind of way. Now you make what they call her His Excellency. Just like how they call the mayor her worship. Then what they mean something. Fountain of honor. That's what the Constitution call them. Where you respect somebody, you know they talk, you they talk. The president was talking when she started screaming and say, "Paupa you for talk." I don't care where you are, who's kind. Oh, because you're a citizen, you count in passports. 8 million of us are citizens of Sierra Leone. 8 million. So if all 8 million can say Paupa them for talk, that's how they go, that's how they do program. No. So for close. Just now we don't put this magazine online. And it can be announced to the sister, we ask the question, say, we will give you information when you want information. Information I write, but you don't mean for say they get all the information, all the time, the minutes where you want them. There are processes. This magazine will distribute more copies to now today, all 20. We just launched the online version, so every citizen within our host can read them. It includes 1 year into delivery of the Big Five. On every one of the Big Five pillars, there are numbers, there are facts, there are personal stories. There's information here that you can read and you can question us about afterwards. If anything that we think, say, no, we know all water, you can follow up with we will continue to engage with you. On that very high note, I want to take this opportunity for say, the link there online. We also get the link where we will share. I don't know if they will put it online.